Hey y'all, it's Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and I'm just here for the good news. So, today we are back with another Galactic Gossip. So, we're going to talk about the week and the energy with astrology starting today, 11/11. By the way, happy 11/11. I hope y'all have been keeping your thoughts governed and making sure you're thinking positively. And it's a great day to write down your intentions on what you want, kind of breathe in those intentions, the things that you want to manifest, and just sit with it, meditate on it. So we're going to be starting with this week, 11/11, all the way through Saturday. What is that, 11/16? Something like that. Saturday. All right. So first, we're going to talk about today. So not only is it 11/11, but it's also the Mercury Cazimi that happened this morning. I'm not sure if you all have felt that or had some epiphanies that came through. But what a Mercury Cazimi is when Mercury is in a conjunction and it's elevated at the what they call seat of the sun, right? So what that does is it amplifies the energy of Mercury. And Mercury is in retrograde and it's in Scorpio. So it's at a really deep, introspective kind of area right now. And it's causing a lot of us, depending on where this is happening in your chart, it's causing us to go really deep into the abyss of ourselves and figure out the things that need to be figured out. Like we are doing a lot of refining and revisiting and reviewing of things. So Mercury and Scorpio is actually happening in my seventh house. So I'm a Taurus rising. So therefore, it is having me to review a lot of things regarding partnerships, business, contracts, those Libra relationship type of energies. So I'm in review of a lot of those things and I'm digging deep and figuring out some energies regarding that. And with Mercury being in this retrograde, not only are we reviewing it, but being at the seat of the sun in this Cazimi is actually giving us that energy that we need to cut through the fog, right? Because as you all know, like Mercury retrograde is here to it kind of creates this confusion so that way you can kind of see what you need to revamp and redo and make adjustments to and improve in the communication type of areas, and as well as your thoughts and whatnot. So with the Mercury Cazimi being there, it is cutting through that fog. It's helping you dive deep, right? To cut through those deep internal things that you were trying to find understanding in. So a lot of us this morning could have had some deep understanding in some things. And I know for me, I'm a Gemini, Mercury in Gemini. I have a Gemini stellium. So a lot of, I'm governed by Mercury a whole lot, as well as Venus. So this morning I felt, I'm not going to say melancholy. I was just very neutral tone, just kind of, I guess I was introspective, processing. I was born under a retrograde. So normally retrogrades don't affect me much. I recognize things like I even got into a whole fender bender this morning. Like, what is that? That's also Mercury retrograde type of energy, car issues. But I got into this whole fender bender and it was just like, oh, you good? I'm good. Okay, we good. Bye, kind of thing. But it's just all about paying attention to these hiccups and whatnot. And since this is happening in my seventh house, it's about how I interact with people and the contracts and whatnot. So that interaction I had with the person that got into the fender bender with me, how I responded to that, all of those things kind of, that's what this is bringing up. It brings up these situations so we can analyze and review and redo these things, right? And it could just manifest in something as simple as that, or it could be something on a grander scale, like a whole partnership, a business partnership, your job in a sense. If you have some type of contract with your job or your employer or something like that. Anyway, so that's just my example to kind of give you an idea on how this can manifest for you. So also we have, let's see, with this Cazimi, I talked about it being introspective so you can gain deep insight on things that we have been unclear about, depending on where this is happening in your chart. And if you need a detailed analysis on where this is happening in your chart, you know who to call. It's also a really great time to communicate regarding those serious situations that you just couldn't be clear on. You just did not know how to bring it up. You didn't know how to deliver the message. So today would be a great day to get that out the way, those serious topics, because it is going to bring you to this point of clarity that's happening right now, because that's what we're experiencing, this point of clarity. It's also a really great day to reflect and to meditate, also to journal. So you can do what I call monkey mind dump. Just all the crazy rampant thoughts that you may be having, because I know I do. I have Mercury and my sun are conjunct, right, in my second house. So I'm always just thinking. But yeah, so overactive thinking, analyzing, whatever those monkey minds where you're just going wild and crazy. It's a good time and a good day to journal those things. I call it monkey mind dumping. You just dump it in your journal. Whatever comes to mind, just dump it. Just write it out. Or you can do what I call free writing. And I actually got this tip from my cousin. And she gave me this tip that you just free write. So you don't think about what you're writing. You just write. Whatever comes to your mind, you write it out. So it's kind of like allowing spirit to flow through you and write out whatever message it is. Done it the first time, freaked me out. Didn't sound like anything I would be saying to myself. So I was like, who is this talking? Not me, but it's fine. But it is you, actually, it's your higher self. So moving on, we do have, so that's it for today with the Cazimi. So, and as well as 11/11, remember, manifestation day, govern your thoughts, be positive, write your intentions, breathe it in, let it go, right? Keep that in mind. So starting tomorrow, we have the full moon in Taurus. Let's get into it. So full moon in Taurus. I have my notes here, y'all. So this is going to, so with this full moon in Taurus, it's going to allow us to become present in the moment, and it's going to bring us peace in wherever we are in that moment, right? And because this full moon in Taurus is here, it's also at the same time with this Mercury retrograde, right? So what this is internalizing our thought processes in the Scorpio, because Mercury is in Scorpio, the moon is in Taurus, so they're in a complete opposition of each other, right? So with this, we are the things that we dream, the things that we desire, our deepest, most intimate wants and needs, we are being asked to materialize these things, right? Bring them into fruition. So it's a great time with this new moon to take practical steps in creating these things, not necessarily start on them, because right now Mercury is in retrograde. It's not a great time to initiate anything new. It's a great time to refine and review and make a plan. So that way, once it goes back direct on the 20th of November, you already have a plan set in place and you can actually start taking action on it at that time. So it's about taking practical steps towards achieving that magic, because Scorpio is all about magic, right? You know, the mysterious things. So the magic that you want to create within your life, the magic that you harbor within yourself, it's about materializing that and making it real, manifesting it. Once Mercury goes direct, like I said, you'll be able to put all these plans into place. And I do have something else regarding the full moon. Hold on. Let's see. Yes. So also we do have it. All of this is having a trine with the Pluto-Saturn conjunction. So trines are easy, right? Trines are just favorable outcomes, just easy, doesn't require much work, like a sextile. Sextile requires the work. If you've been doing the work, then it'll manifest. A trine, on the other hand, is not necessarily that. It's easy work, basically, slight work. So what this is doing is helping us create the structures that we need to set in place, right? It's also helping us to transform these things and that need to be removed, with the Pluto energy being there, transform and remove and transition. And then Saturn is there to help us set the structures in place, right? To make the plan, to be, final in it. So it's about restructuring and releasing. Full moons are always about releasing. It's always about letting go of the things that did not work, because we come to this culmination point. It's about harvesting and then releasing what's not needed anymore. So now's the time, beginning tomorrow with the full moon in Taurus, is to release the things that no longer resonate with who you were trying to become, what direction in life you are going. Release it. Let it go. Allow this Saturn, Pluto conjunct energy that is trining all of this, that is trining, I believe it's trining Mercury. Yes, it's trining Mercury. Am I tripping? Yes, I'm not tripping. It's trining Mercury. Allow that energy to strip away. Allow it to help you remove these things. Also, because it's in Taurus, this full moon that's happening in Taurus, it's also about our values, our possessions, how we make our money. It's about our partnerships. It's about our self-worth. And in order to move through this energy, we need to focus on our spiritual side of these things. This is what's going to help us shift through this and make that transition that's needed. And whatever spirituality looks like for you, that's what the focus is, right? That's how you focus on that in order to shift through it. So if that means you do ritual, if that means you do candle magic, whatever it is that you do, you do tarot, divination, whatever it is that you do spiritual-wise, utilize that to help you shift through this energy. So that way, when you're trying to create the plan and the structures that's going to help you manifest these things from your deepest desires, which is that Scorpio energy, you are then able to do so by way of having been grounded in your spirituality practices, right? So this moon is asking us to get real and honest about our values, and also the things that we possess, our money, our material gains, the things that we have, the things that we want to have. It's also asking us to question things regarding our self-love. How are you loving yourself? Are you loving yourself? What is it that you value about yourself? What is your self-worth? What have you attached your self-worth to? Have you attached it to anything? That kind of thing. Ask those questions that are necessary, so that way you can have a deep understanding as to what it is that you want, what it is that you are trying to manifest, in the direction that you're actually going. Finding the balance, right, between our passion and our ego. Because we have the sun here in Scorpio, along with Mercury in Scorpio, and then we have an opposition with the moon. This is a balance between the ego, the personality, which is the sun, and our passion, our heart desires, which is the moon. So it's a balance between the head and the heart, and finding the balance between these two things, and allowing your emotions to be what they are, and having that emotional calm, because that's what Taurus is all about. Taurus is about finding peace and finding calm and retreat, in a sense, because Taurus wants to be comfortable. Taurus loves to know that things are unchanging, that things are not, chaotic. Taurus don't like a lot of all of that stuff. So it's all about finding the balance with the intensity as well as the calm, right? Knowing when and when not to turn up and turn down, in the sense when it comes to your emotions. And if there is anything that is misaligned, in a sense, the universe is going to show you, right? The universe is going to tell you, and it's actually calling you to make these structural changes with this Capricorn Pluto conjunct energy that's trining all of this. It's actually calling you to utilize this energy to make those changes, build those structures, make those transitions that's needed, because all of this is happening right now, so we can prepare for 2020. Because 2020, we have an eclipse season starting off the year. So that's huge. So I think that's all I got for the moon. Let me look. I talked about Pluto and Saturn making a trine, and that's helping us to release the oppressive energies that we've been holding on to, basically. So I think I touched on everything. That's the main focus for this week. There are no other major aspects that are happening this week that's worthy to discuss about some of the stuff you probably won't be feeling, because we have all this heavy energy and this big energy with the moon, as well as Mercury Kazemi that happened today, and that's just carrying us through the rest of the week. So that's all I'm going to talk about today for Galactic Gossip. I hope this has been helpful. Please leave a comment. Let me know if this resonates with you, if you have been feeling any of these energies that I discussed. If you need detailed analysis as to how any of this is affecting you in your individual birth chart, my information can be found in my bio. You can book a reading. You can look at my website. All the information is there. So I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Make sure you utilize the energies to your best advantage. Write your intentions. Keep your thoughts positive. Have a beautiful day.